Today I am reviewing the Oregon CS1500 self-sharpening electric chainsaw. If at any time you'd like to explore this product for yourself and grab it at a great price, be sure to check the links below the video. If you have ever spent more time filing a dull chainsaw chain than actually cutting wood, you know exactly how frustrating that process is. I have been using the Oregon CS1500 for the past few months to clear out some overgrown brush and buck some downed oak on my property, and it has completely changed my workflow. This isn't just another generic corded saw. It is designed to solve the one problem that plagues every homeowner with a chainsaw, which is keeping the teeth sharp without needing a master's degree in sharpening or a trip to the local shop. The standout feature here is obviously the Power Sharp system. When I first heard about a chainsaw that sharpens itself, I was skeptical. I figured it would be a gimmick that ate through my chain life or just didn't work when things got tough. But after putting it through some heavy use, I am a believer. When you notice the saw starting to struggle or throwing dust instead of chips, you just pull that red lever on the top for 3 to 5 seconds while the saw is running. It resets the edge of the cutters instantly. It is incredibly satisfying to hear that grinding sound and then immediately dive back into a log with a fresh edge. If you want to check the current pricing or see if this is available at your local retailer, there are links below the video that you can check out. Now, let's talk about the actual performance. Because this is a 15-amp electric motor, it has plenty of torque. It is not going to replace a professional-grade gas saw for felling massive trees in the backcountry, but for bucking firewood, pruning, or clearing storm debris in your yard, it is more than enough. One thing I really appreciate is the instant startup. There is no pulling a starter cord, no messing with choke settings, and no worrying about whether the gas-to-oil ratio is correct. You plug it in, hit the trigger, and you are cutting. It is also significantly quieter than any gas saw I have owned, which is a massive plus if you have neighbors close by, or if you just prefer not to wear heavy-duty ear protection for smaller jobs. The toolless tensioning system is another practical win. We have all dealt with those saws where you need a scrunch to tighten the chain, and half the time you lose the tool or strip the screw. Here, you just turn the knob on the side to get your tension right. It is quick, it is intuitive, and it keeps the chain exactly where it needs to be. The automatic oiling system also does its job well. I didn't notice any excessive leaking, which is a common complaint with many electric saws, and the chain stayed well lubricated during my longer sessions. However, it is not a perfect machine, and you should be aware of the trade-offs. The biggest limitation is the cord. You are tethered to an outlet, so you're going to need a high-quality, heavy-gauge extension cord. If you are working deep in the woods or far from a power source, this is obviously not the tool for you. I found that if I was working more than 100 feet from the house, the voltage drop and the sheer annoyance of managing the cord started to outweigh the benefits of the electric motor. Also, while it is lightweight compared to gas saws, it still has some heft to it. The balance is good, but if you are doing overhead pruning for an hour straight, your arms are going to feel it. Another point of contention for some users might be the specific design of the Power Sharp chain. Because the sharpening system relies on that specific chain and stone assembly, you are essentially locked into buying Oregon's proprietary chains. You cannot just slap any standard chain on this saw and expect the sharpening feature to work. While these chains are high quality and last a long time if you use the sharpener correctly, it does mean you are tied to their ecosystem. If you're the type of person who likes to buy generic chains in bulk for a few dollars each, you might find this slightly restrictive. I also want to mention the build quality. The housing is mostly plastic, which is expected for this price point, but it feels sturdy enough for residential work. I accidentally bumped it against a rock while clearing some low-hanging branches, and it held up fine. That said, do not mistake this for a professional forestry tool. If you are looking to cut down massive hardwoods every single weekend, you're going to push this motor past its limits. This is a homeowner-grade tool, and it shines when it is used for what it was designed for: maintaining a property, cutting firewood, and general cleanup. If you are a DIYer who only uses a chainsaw a few times a year, the biggest disappointment you might run into is the chain storage. If you let the oil sit in the tank for months without use, it can get a bit gummy, so make sure to drain it or run it dry if you're putting it away for the winter. Also, keep an eye on the sharpening stone. It does wear down over time, so you will eventually need to replace that component, though it lasts quite a while with normal usage. Overall, the Oregon CS1500 is a fantastic value for the right person. If you are tired of paying for professional sharpening or you are just bad at doing it yourself, the Power Sharp feature alone is worth the price of admission. It makes the maintenance aspect of owning a chainsaw almost non-existent. It is powerful, it is reliable, and it is incredibly user-friendly. Just remember that you are tethered to a power cord, and you are committed to using their specific chain system. If those two things don't bother you, I think you will be very happy with how this performs. If you want to see more details or check the current price, feel free to click the links below the video. It is a solid, practical tool that makes property maintenance a lot less of a chore.